Yo, what's going on, YouTube? And welcome back to Goal Line Hockey. It's your boy, Kevin Forte, and we have to go over the 2022 NHL All-Star Game rosters. We got the captains announced, the entire roster, so we'll be going over that in today's video. So, let's start off with the captains. Now, the captains is obviously a pretty big deal. This was a fan-voted thing. Excuse me. And there's no real surprises here. Now, you look at the Pacific Division, the Edmonton Oilers captain, Connor McDavid, he'll take that one. The Central Division, we have Nathan MacKinnon, who is the alternate captain of the Avalanche. He gets the nod as captain of the Central. In the Metropolitan Division, it is none other than the Great Eight, Alexander Ovechkin. He gets that spot from the Capitals. And then in the Atlantic, it is Austin Matthews of the Maple Leafs. So there are your four captains going into the Las Vegas All-Star Game in 2022. Now looking out the roster that fills out behind those captains, you have Patrice Bergeron of the Bruins, Dylan Larkin of the Detroit Red Wings, Jonathan Huberdeau of the Florida Panthers, Nick Suzuki of the Montreal Canadiens, Drake Batherson of the Ottawa Senators, Austin Matthews, like I said, the captain of the Maple Leafs, Rasmus Dahlin of the Sabres, Victor Hedman of the Lightning, Andrei Vasilevsky of the Lightning, and Jack Campbell of the Maple Leafs. So out of all those guys, honestly, the guy I'm really, there's two guys that I'm kind of surprised didn't get in. Now, for the Red Wings, you can make an argument that Lucas Raymond could be in there ahead of Dylan Larkin, and that may piss off some Red Wings fans out there, but I think a lot of them would agree with me, like, yeah, let the young kid get in there. So Lucas Raymond, kind of surprised he didn't get there for the Wings. You could always make an argument for the Tampa guys. Could it have been Hedman? Could it have been Stamkos? Very much up in the air. You could have made that argument. Same thing for the Leafs. John Tavares, the captain of the Leafs, did not get in over Matthews. Again, I wonder if because Matthews won the fan vote that he got in from that. And obviously the big one for the Florida Panthers. Now, I know Jonathan Huberdeau has been very good this year. We always talk about him being underrated. Maybe he's not as underrated as I thought he was, as he got in over the Florida Panthers captain, Sasha Alexander Barkov. So that was kind of interesting, the fact that kind of happened. Now, again, kind of make an argument in Ottawa about Drake Batherson getting in over Matthew Tkachuk or Brady Tkachuk. So that was a little bit weird. But again, that's all just intangibles. You can make an argument for any of those guys that they could have gotten in. So that's it for the Atlantic. Now, staying in the Eastern Conference, looking at the Metropolitan Division, you have the Carolina Hurricanes, Sebastian Aho. The New Jersey Devils get Jack Hughes in there for the first time. Chris Kreider of the Rangers. They had a lot of guys they could have taken. Claude Giroux of the Flyers. Hello, Claude Giroux. Alexander Ovechkin, obviously for the Capitals. He's the captain of this game for the Metro. Zach Werenski for the Blue Jackets. Adam Pelech for the Islanders. No Matt Barzal there. Interesting. And then Adam Fox of the Rangers. So you see two Rangers in there. Looking at the goaltenders, you got Freddie Anderson of the Hurricanes and Tristan Jarry of Pittsburgh. You could argue that's the best goalie tandem right now in the NHL. So now looking at some guys that maybe got snubbed out of this. Honestly, I think it's pretty fair. Like I said, I was kind of making fun of Pelech getting in there over Barzal. I wonder if that's more of a fan vote thing for the Islanders putting in Pelech, but to each their own. What's his name? Andrei Svechnikov of the Hurricanes. He's been very good this year. You could have made an argument over Aho in that regard, but other than that, I think this is pretty good overall. The weird thing is Pittsburgh didn't get a player in there, whether it was Crosby or Jake Gensel. I'm a little bit surprised by that, if I'm going to be honest. But they got their goalie. They got Tristan Jarry in there. So there you go. Now looking at the Western Conference, we have in the Central Division, we have Clayton Keller of the Coyotes, Alex DeBrincat of the Blackhawks, Nathan MacKinnon of the Avalanche. Again, he's the captain for the Central. Joe Pavelski for Dallas, Kirill Kaprizov for the Minnesota Wild. Jordan Kyrou of the St. Louis Blues, Kyle Connor for the Winnipeg Jets, another Avalanche guy here, Cale Makar of the Avs, Cam Talbot from Minnesota as the goalie, as well as UC Saros for the Nashville Predators. Now, the most interesting name that is not on this list for me, well, there's two. There's two big ones, and those are Roman Josi, who is the captain of the Predators. Surprised he didn't get in there in terms of defensemen, but also Nazem Kadri. Now, he may end up getting the fan vote, but it might be Roman Josi. Quite honestly, I think Roman Josi and Nazem Kadri kind of got stifled here for getting into the All-Star game. Now, how much do they really care? Are they going to cry about it at night? Probably not. I hope not, at the very least. Probably wishing they had that little extra All-Star game bonus, right? But other than that, it is what it is. Those two, though, I was surprised. At the very least, Josi, for that matter. The fact he didn't get in there, kind of interesting. So now we look at the Pacific Division. You have a couple of guys here. Johnny Gaudreau for the Flames. The Oilers have a couple of guys here too. Leon Draisaitl and Connor McDavid, who is the captain of the Pacific, both from the Oilers. No real shock there. Adrian Kempe of the Los Angeles Kings. Interesting to see him there. Timo Meier of the Sharks. Jordan Eberle is the first ever All-Star of the Seattle Kraken. Congrats there to Ebbs. Mark Stone for Vegas. Alex Pietrangelo for Vegas. John Gibson from the Ducks. And Thatcher Demko for the Vancouver Canucks. A couple guys that got kind of stifled here. I hate to say it like that, but, I wonder why Troy Terry didn't get in there, at the very least. Maybe even Trevor Zegras of the Ducks. None of those Ducks got in there. They'll have their time in the future, right? Giordano of Seattle. He's been very good. And Jonathan Marchessault of Vegas has been impressive too. But I understand they took the defenseman and they took Pietrangelo and they took Stone. I understand why they did that, but that's just part of the beast here, right? So overall, I like most of these rosters, but I have to say, in each division, who got the rough end of the stick? Barkov of the Panthers in the Atlantic. I hate to say Crosby because he didn't really play much, so I'll say Gensel in the Metro, but I think they did a pretty good job with the Metropolitan Division overall. In the Central Division, I'm going to go with Josi over Kadri, and then in the Pacific, I think Troy Terry should have got in, quite honestly, with how he's played with the Anaheim Ducks. So other than that, now they're also holding the fan vote, the last man in. You guys could check that all out. That's all available. We already did a review of the jerseys, but I'll do a quick one for you guys here again. So they showed the jerseys with the numbers on the back. That's the update. And I'm not a fan. I'm really not a fan still of these jerseys. They're better than they've been. But that 2010 All-Star Game jersey, I'm kind of married to that one. It's really going to be hard to top that one. You have the Eastern Conference logo, or the conference logo is on the shoulder. You have the team logo on the other patch, and the colors, the striping, the stars, of course, all that together. It was just a beautiful uniform, and I hate to say it, it's just everything else kind of seems blah next to that. Now, obviously, there were the great the divisional jerseys we saw in the 90s. That orange jersey of, the Clarence division, the Campbell division jersey with Gretzky, right? That was a very famous jersey. But other than that, kind of been misses, in my opinion. Now, to be honest, I'm kind of disappointed that this All-Star Game is in Vegas this year. And I'm not disappointed in the location. I kind of wish I could have gone to this All-Star Game. Had it been another year, I maybe could have gone to it. But I'm sure this won't be the last time they do an All-Star Game in Vegas. This is a really exciting event, and I'd be very excited if I'm any NHL fan going to this thing, because I think it would be really entertaining. I've never been to Vegas. I'd like to go to Vegas one day. I think this would have been the perfect game to do that, but there's always next time, right? So guys, that is it for today's video. If you like what we're doing here at Goal Line Hockey, want to see the latest news around the NHL and more videos just like this one, you guys know what to do. Make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and an even bigger subscribe down below. Guys, as always, thank you so much, and I will see you later.